What do you guys think is worse, Social Security or taxes?
I don't know. They seem both horrible. I don't know.
I'd say Social Security is probably worse right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. We really need to get to the core of these issues. Okay, so we did all of this research, and we still have to come up with what is the core issue. It seems like the Social Security Trust Fund isn't even real. It could be an accounting fiction. It seems like it's a money pit where the government takes what they want.
Well, right now we really can't just adjust the rate or the threshold of Social Security. We really need to attack the core issue. Everyone is talking about changing rates, but we need to do more than just that. Right now, Americans need more than just another temporary fix.
Yeah, going on your point, the root of the issue is how the government actually funds the Social Security Trust Fund. So when you look at the cash inflows and the cash outflows, you have the government taxing the individual, and they put that money into the hands of the recipients of Social Security. And then the excess of that goes into the Social Security Trust Fund. And then mandated by law that Social Security Trust Fund has to be invested in certain special issue government bonds. And what that basically is a special way of saying that the government is going to take from that trust fund and use it on basically budget line items, different things in the Treasury. So if you look at how the government funds Social Security, they basically take money out of the trust fund, they spend it, then they need to pay back principal and interest. And the only way they're going to do that is if they go back to the original taxpayer, tax him some more, or her, and then give that money back to the Social Security Fund. So in a sense, it's almost a hidden tax that people aren't aware of. And even certain people aren't aware that they're triple taxed when they're funding Social Security.
Right, so people are first taxed right off from payroll. Social Security is taken out of their gross pay. And then at the end of the year on the W-2s, you're taxed again because the Social Security money is included with your taxable income, is not deducted like other taxes are. So you pay the tax a second time there. And then the third time, if you make over $25,000 filing individually or $32,000 filing jointly, you're taxed a third time on the income, the Social Security income benefits that are paid to you.
So it seems almost that the government's just taking this money and using it as almost like a line item for their budget. They're just taking what they want and what they need because they can. And it seems like it's almost not even real. In Time magazine, Bush even states that some in our country think that Social Security is a trust fund. In other words, there's a pile of money being accumulated. That's just simply not true. The money, payroll taxes going into the Social Security they're spent on benefits and they're spent on government programs. There is no trust. So even President Bush really supports this by saying there is no trust fund.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That if you actually had a trust fund, then you would think they would have certain accounting standards where the money that goes into Social Security, they can tell you where is invested, what is the yield on your investment, how much money is going in, how much money is going out. But on the Social Security website, they can't even tell you how much is going in through interest payments or how much money is going in through the Social Security tax. So following it, it's pretty confusing where you can say, if this was a mutual fund, would you want to invest in it? And my answer would be no. And then looking on the Social Security website, you look at what's going in, what's being paid out, that we have over $2.5 trillion in assets. That's what the trust says they have. But in reality, can we actually say that's an accounting fiction, or is it real assets where the government can take from? It kind of gets confusing from there, because then you say, if it is a trust fund, then how can we have such a surplus, and how come we're facing problems in the near future?
I think the way it's vested is also a major part of the problem. If we all put in $1 20 years ago, we would all want that dollar to be there when we're ready to take it out. If they can't account for how much we've all put in over the years, how much are we going to expect to get out? And even if it's disappearing, where's it going to? Because that money should be allocated to stay there for when we need it.
Especially when you look at the rates that we're paying, that you ask yourself, if we're paying all of these additional taxes that you're just saying with triple tax, you're paying back the principal and interest through other taxes, that can we just directly fund it, as you're saying, and put the money in, invest it, and expect to receive the money back? Can we actually lower the rates and set accounting standards where we can actually follow the money, follow the interest being paid, and just make it more simple for the American people?
I think that's the issue, is the accountability that the government's taking.
I would agree with that.
I think just general transparency. If we have 2.5 trillion sitting in a trust fund, I don't know why the rate that we're paying in should be raised or even stay as high as it is. I think it could be lowered even a little bit.
Or even eliminated at a lower income, because it's such a burden on the people that don't make enough to support themselves, and they have to pay this tax over and over for something they might not receive for a while.
Exactly.